Hi, well, welcome to the National Karate Online class. In this section, I'm going to demonstrate how to do the side stomp and the side kick. The side kick has the root of the side stomp. They use the same thing. So if, imagine I had a attacker, the side stomp would be I could stomp on the foot, I could stomp on the knee, or I could stomp to the ribs. They're all the same chamber stomp, but thank you, sir. I'm going to start with the side stomp, and this would be like, for instance, what white belts do on their test and what they would do at the tournament coming up. So I do this. I bring the knee up, chamber, that's called the chamber, and then I hit with the heel, with the toes that are pulled up. So it's knee up, stomp, knee up, stomp. And we'll probably have you hold it for maybe 1 or 2 seconds, so get in the habit of being able to kick and then bounce. So it'll be kick, up and down. Maybe count to 2. Kick, 1, 2, up and down. Okay, that's the side stomp. And then the side kick would be the same thing, but we have to get what's called a pivot. So again, imagine if I had Mr. Dresser here again, or my attacker, what I want to do is have my hips facing my target. My support foot is the opposite direction. That's really key. We'll get into that a little bit more when we do pad kicks, but if I don't pivot, I'm not using the strongest part of my muscle group. So if I'm kicking a target here, I like to say it's kind of like if you ever go to a horse stable, they always tell you, don't stand behind the horse. And the reason that is, if I'm the horse and you're standing behind there, they can kick behind you, behind themselves really easy. It's not as dangerous over here, but behind it's a real smooth muscle group. So if I had someone, the perfect situation is someone sneaking up behind me that I see him coming, and I kick that direction. Chamber, kick. But in most situations, if my attacker's coming, I'm in my self-defense situation, I can't say, wait a minute, I want to get you really hard, so I'm going to get my body in position, okay, go. So that's why we do the pivot. It's just a smooth, bam. Knee comes up. Knee comes up. So that's the side kick. One way to practice being able to get that chamber, to get the pivot, to get that lock out is to do what's called slow kicks. So we usually use the bar at the school. You probably don't have a ballet bar at home, so we're going to use this. I'm going to do this a little bit at an angle. So we got a chair, and you can just practice at home. So I'm kicking that direction. First step would make sure we get that pivot right. That's super important. So the knee comes up, I go up on the ball of the foot, and then I pivot. So you can just practice that pivot. Now notice I'm turning on the ball, which is that part, not the heel. Some people think the heel is the ball because it looks like a ball, but really it's that part. And another way of saying it is you're kind of up on your toes. If you're in other sports, they always say be on the balls of your feet because you can react faster. A way to think about this is if I told you you're going to fight, get a good fighting position, and I said, okay, now I want you to stand on your heels. Okay, walk around on your heels. Doesn't that feel awkward? You wouldn't be able, you'd be like, man, I can hardly move. You wouldn't fight like that. But if I say now, get on your toes, okay, now I'm agile, I'm able to move, I can pivot easier. That's where we want to be. So, feet together, and I bring my knee up, chamber on the ball of the foot, and then slowly out, bring it back, unpivot, knee pivot, slowly out, back, unpivot. So I'm developing the muscle memory on how to do a good side kick. Now notice, my knee and heel are on the same level. I don't want that down there unless I was going to the knee. If I'm kicking straight out, I have to have that on the same level. Okay? Next step, so if you're doing slow kicks, maybe you're a higher belt, instead of practicing that pivot every time, then we're working on the muscle. So here's the thing about a side kick. To get your leg to hold out there, it takes a certain amount of leg strength, hip strength, and core muscle. So this is great core exercise, really good for you. But people who have a hard time doing side kicks, usually people just have either a weak core or haven't developed that muscle in their legs and their hip. So this is how you develop that. So you do that pivot, and it's just out and back in chamber. Out and hold it, back in chamber. Out and hold it, back in chamber. So remember, the quality of your slow kick develops the quality of you. So if you're lazy and you're just kind of throwing, you're hanging on your back and it's just all over the place, you're not going to get any better. You have to be really disciplined about doing all the techniques perfectly, and then you'll get better. So that's how we're going to do the slow kick. Okay, next, we'll do a couple of pad kicks. So if I wanted to practice, let's do the stomp first. Let's put it on all the way on the ground. You just lay it down. So again, pretend you're hitting someone's foot, hitting someone's knee. It would be knee up high, stomp with the heel. Now at home, you could use a couch cushion for this. Stack a couple pillows together. You can buy a pad from the school. We got them here for sale. You bring that knee up, stomp. And then we go higher. Then we're again do what we talked about: pivot, side kick, pivot, side kick. Make sure your chamber tight. So if I don't bend this knee a lot, there's not a lot left, right? So it's got to be tight knee bend and kick. And then when we have green belts, purple belts to black belts, sparring, then maybe we want to be able to do a slide side kick. So if he and I were fighting, now I can't just waddle up to him and kick him, right? So I've got to be able to be a little bit more sneaky than that. I pick this foot up, slide kick. So it's all one motion. I'm moving in as I chamber. Foot comes up, I'm catching up to it, and then I'm kicking. I'll do one more. All right, that's the slide side kick. So that's it for now. You should probably spend, there's a lot that I just covered. This one you probably want to go back, rewind a few things, practice maybe another 15, you could do this for 15, 20 minutes, all the stuff that we just did. So we'll see you next time.